What's going on, guys? It's Frito here for your Overwatch. Today, Blizzard released their very first Week 1 developer blog, giving us an update on Overwatch 2's PvP beta. This is what it says. Throughout Week 1 of our first technical beta for Overwatch 2, our team has been galvanized by all the enthusiasm and positive energy from so many participating players. We're carefully listening to your feedback during this beta test. As we committed to more regular communication with our players, we plan to share a weekly update with you about what we're learning and how that impacts our development plans. For this week's update, we have 4 main topics to cover, and the first one is here: progress on Beta 1 goals. The main goals for our first beta were to test our shift to 5v5, the new maps and push game mode, overall balance, and build and server stability. We believe 5v5 is a significant adjustment for players, and we have been happy to hear consistent and positive feedback about players having more fun, feeling a greater sense of impact in their matches, and enjoying a faster pace of combat and engagements. While we will continue to adjust the rules of push, players seem to be really enjoying this new game mode and our other new maps. We'll talk about balance in more detail in a separate section, but our approach to balance will be to make rapid adjustments to hero power levels, and we'll deploy our first beta balance patch in a few days accordingly. Because this beta test focuses primarily on gameplay and balance, as well as stability, several other features and aspects of the game that you are seeing in this test are still a work in progress. For example, elements like menu screens, player profiles, multiple time of day conditions for classic maps, and the full set of Hero 2.0 looks are areas our team has been working hard on that we are not yet testing publicly. And as the golden gun system has not been completed in this beta build, what you're currently seeing in-game does not reflect a deliberate shift in the design aesthetics, but rather an incomplete feature. This is a direct shout out to a Reddit thread I saw talking about how the golden guns don't look that great in Overwatch 2 so far. It continues. The same is true for other UI elements, including the headshot indicators in the kill feed and refining the audio mix. Personally, I miss the boop icons in the kill feed. When you boop a player off, it doesn't have the little guy falling off anymore. What's that? Okay, that kind of thing they're working on, as you might imagine. Importantly, this beta is just our first public test leading up to the future Overwatch 2 PvP release. Between now and then, we plan to add more content, including heroes, maps, and features. This is an important thing for them to message, considering the Video Game Donkey review and a lot of other average players really confused on what Overwatch 2 is and the fact that it's going to be a continuous rollout of content. The blog post continues. They say, there will be a significant amount of overall polish and refinement added in the form of enhanced UI, bug fixes, and more. Next up, ranked mode and queue times. We understand that many players in our community want to play ranked mode in the PvP beta, and that those systems are a great way to keep players engaged and enjoying competition. We made the choice to only run quick play in this beta test for 2 primary reasons. First, because in a test with a limited number of players, we generally want to prioritize making matches more quickly over splitting the player base into multiple queues. And second, because we're planning some significant overhauls of our core ranked and competitive mode systems, and those are not yet ready to test publicly at scale. As you can probably tell, I am excited that the ranked mode is getting overhauls. They go on. However, we've also seen queue times increasing for tank and damage players, as those roles have been relatively more popular versus the support role during this test. We understand the need to make playing support more attractive to players, and we'll discuss that more below. In the interim, we're also working to enable Quick Play Classic with Open Queue so that players seeking shorter queue times will have an easy option for the remainder of the first beta test, which, you know, it's going to be a bunch of tanks fighting each other, which might actually be kind of awesome in some ways. Moving on, game balance and support heroes. This beta and future tests will be critically important for identifying balance issues and adjusting. So far, most heroes are falling into a healthy range overall for play rate and win rate across different skill levels. But we've seen a few outliers that we'll address in a balance patch planned for later this week. We'll continue actively monitoring gameplay balance, and we expect to make further hero balance adjustments during this beta. More broadly, during our alpha test, we observed support heroes feeling too vulnerable to diving and flanking attacks with fewer shields and no second tank focusing on protecting them. We made a significant adjustment to their role passive heading into the beta, allowing support heroes to recover more health faster and improve their survivability. This is key because a lot of creators were really ahead of this support meta problem, but what they did do is buff that passive significantly, which I don't think creators did a good job of explaining to the public. The post goes on, this change improved their overall power and durability, and overall supports are performing well in the beta, but we know that balance is only one aspect of what makes a hero fun to play. We have heard clearly that support players feel both tank and damage players have more new content to enjoy and explore in this beta. Longer term, we believe the most effective way to tackle this issue is to add exciting new support heroes to the game. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And that is part of our plans. In the near term, our hero design team is also experimenting with significant but shorter lead time ideas, including new and refreshed abilities for some existing support heroes. Yeah, maybe you should add a stun to Brigitte. Maybe that would help. Okay, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. These types of ideas could be deployed later this first beta test, but more likely would be in our next tests. Next up, this new scoreboard. The Overwatch scoreboard screen is a new feature we debuted in the first beta. This scoreboard provides current statistics about both teams' hero compositions and the status of your team's ultimates, enabling you and your team to plan and coordinate a winning strategy. We are retiring both the fire and metal system with the update and enhancements of the Overwatch 2 scoreboard. That's interesting because before they kind of said they might reuse it for something. Now they're saying they're retiring it fully, it sounds like. The original idea with the metal system was to give positive reinforcement for personal performance and let players know individually how they were contributing to the team. But as time went on, we realized that the information provided by medals led to varying interpretation by players. As time went on, I mean, I said this in like our second video of the channel ever in 2016. Okay, sorry. Moving on. The team saw players incorrectly interpreting actual team performance based on the relative rankings provided by medals, aka I've got gold damage, what are y'all doing? This was especially true early on in games when the statistical amounts were small. These observations led to the decision to remove the metal and fire systems and completely rework the scoreboard screen and present more accurate information to players. Yes, and of course, it's like when you're losing in Overwatch, maybe you have gold limbs, but everybody's got gold limbs at 2, right? Like that doesn't really tell you anything. It just means your whole team's getting rolled. And at least in Overwatch 2, we can kind of see who's been doing what a little more clearly, even if it is still opaque and going to need some teasing out to get to the truth. The post goes on. For Overwatch 2, players can expect the new scoreboard screen to display key statistics in real time for all players in the game. These statistics include eliminations, assists, deaths, damage mitigation, and healing. The information will be presented in a new layout that mirrors other competitive games and sports. So this is even more information than we already have, it sounds like. Our team believes providing accurate feedback and encouragement can improve everyone's gameplay experience. The scoreboard also includes personalized statistics based on the hero you are playing. For example, Lucio will see specific data like sound barriers provided, environmental kills, as well as speed and healing song boost percentages. This combined team and individual performance data will help players make real-time decisions to adjust strategies and win games. I love the scoreboard deeply. When I'm playing the game right now, one way that I've used it so far is as tank, which is like the Giga Chad hero in the game. I'll feel like I'm playing really well and have like 3-to-1 limbs to deaths, which in Overwatch 1 would be pretty good. But then I press tab and look over to the enemy team and their tank has 5. And I'm like, well, I gotta step my game up if I want to win this game, right? Scoreboard is a good thing. And the truth is toxic players will be toxic with any information they have, even if it's none. So we're not getting rid of toxicity. It's irrelevant to the scoreboard issue. The post goes on. While our team believes the scoreboard system is achieving many of its goals, there are a few places specifically where we will continue to iterate. Your feedback has already been helpful in guiding our efforts on the following elements. Information displayed. We'll be adding a new damage mitigated statistic that will reside next to damage done and healing done in the scoreboard. This statistic will cover things like damage blocked and damage reduced by other abilities such as Ana's Nano Boost, Batiste's Immortality Field, and many others. The team may also look at reworking the fire system sometime in the future to complement the scoreboard system, as we believe it can provide excitement for high-performing players. The number one stat I have wanted for years is healing received. Where are the nano boosts going? Where's the mercy beam going? That player you should expect to do better if you are the one receiving Zarya bubbles every time, or all of the healing of the team. You can't expect someone who doesn't get resources to put the same statistical output out as someone who gets none. And I know that for sure might enable some toxicity, but also it gives some much needed clarity of understanding any of that. And I hope that's an area they go next. Next up in the post, they say UI and design. The team is seeing a lot of feedback highlighting certain elements of the scoreboard and how they can be more effectively communicated in game, like evaluating ultimate abilities and hero pictures to decide where on the scoreboard those things can live. Please keep in mind that this reworked scoreboard screen is a work in progress, and the team will continue to iterate and improve this feature as we progress through testing. We've already explored multiple concepts for different layouts. Thank you again to all our beta participants for your support and sharing your feedback. We have been having so much fun playing this test build with all of you and appreciate your continued support for Overwatch 2 as we continue to make progress in development. What do you guys think? The very first developer blog, it's very reminiscent of like the TWAB this week at Bungie that Destiny 2 was doing. I like this. Just give a short, sweet recap of what the problems are, what you're working on to keep us in the loop. I think open queue is a good idea for those players that want to just get in and test a certain new mechanic or hero or whatever and aren't really trying to play a fair match so much. They're not like, it's not like the matchmaking is that great anyway in a beta. So I think that'll be good. However, I, for one, really want a ranked mode eventually. Like, that's what I'm waiting for, but I think we might have to just be patient with that kind of thing and get it when the full release comes out with all the new content. It's not really a beta feature I would expect, but let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit it with a like, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to actually get notified of when our new videos come out. That's been it for me. I've been Frito for your Overwatch. We'll see you guys next time.